start this again. All right, so this part up here we're not going to do, but you'll appreciate whatever's on the bottom later. So this is good. This is good. All right, flip the page. All right, kind of hard to see, but here we go. What this is completing the square with a constant. So I already have that C here. So since I have the C, I can't do completing the square. So I have to get rid of it. So here's my equation. So I need to send this 12 over. So when I subtract that 12 over, I'm left with x squared minus 6x equals 19 minus 12 is 7. Now I can complete the square. So I have x squared. We know that this is a negative 6x, so we kind of divide it by 2 to make this a negative 3 times a negative 3. And then when I do so I'm putting 3 on each side, this becomes a positive 9. So my C equals 9. So I'm going to add 9 to both sides. So add C. Add your C. Okay. Now, once we do that, we also know that this is going to be negative 3 because this is our negative 3, this is our negative 3. And since we added 9 to both sides, this becomes, on this side, what is 7 plus 9? That's 16. Now, our job is to take the square root of both of these. So x minus 3 squared equals the square root of 16. Now, before I go over that, I just want you to know, anytime you have a square root of a number like 16, your solution is either 4 or negative 4. Because 4 squared is 16, negative 4 squared is also 16. So when I do what I'm getting ready to do, you're going to understand it better. So when I do so, I end up with x minus 3, because that just releases the square root of something squared, just releases the squared. It kind of gets rid of that squared, is equal to plus or minus 4. Okay? Now, I need to write each one of these equations separately to find your roots. So to find those roots, I need to say x minus 3 equals positive 4, x minus 3 equals negative 4, and solve each one of those. So add 3, add 3, add 3, add 3. Here, 4 plus 3 gives me 7. Here, negative 4 plus 3 gives me a negative 1. And those are my solutions. Okay? Didn't have a lot of good room here to show you that any better, but let's just try to keep going. Okay, so you see that I have this constant here. It needs to go to the other side so we can do that special thing we do with completing the square. It's just kind of like a shortcut. So I'm going to add 7 to both sides. So that cancels out. I'm left with x squared plus 6x is equal to 7. I know when I'm completing the square, I need to add something to both sides. So I'm going to, what do I need? I've got a positive 3 here and 3 here, which C equals 9. So I'm going to add 9 to both sides. So x squared plus 6x plus 9, again, equals 16. This looks kind of familiar, but it's different because it's plus. Okay, so my two factors would be x plus 3 squared is going to equal 16. All right, now to solve this, we're going to take the square root, that releases it to be like that. This is a plus or minus 4. Now I need to set up two equations. X plus 3 equals positive 4. X plus 3 equals negative 4. Subtract 3. X equals 1. Subtract 3. And x equals negative 7. So here's my two solutions. And that's what we're looking for. Let's try it again. So again, we've got this thing, we can't do our cute little completing the square, so we're going to subtract 10 from both sides. I'm left with x squared minus 8x. If you want to leave a blank here, you can, but I'm just going to say equals negative 10. Okay, let's do our cute little completing the square. So that's basically dividing this by 2 to make this a negative 4 by negative 4. So c equals 16. So I need to add 16 to both sides. Okay. This becomes x squared minus 8x plus 16. We've got a perfect square here thing going on. And this gives me a positive 6. Did I do that right? It's not 2 by 2. Yeah, it is. Okay, I'm good. Next, my factors, I should know, would be x minus 4 squared. And if you think about it, this squared gives me the 16. Okay. Equals 6 square root x minus 4 equals, what's the square root of 6? It says round to your nearest 10th. So on clear second, square root of 6, round to the nearest 10th, so 2.4. This equals 2.4. A positive and a negative, 2.4. Set up my two equations, equals a positive 2.4, x minus 4 equals a negative 2.4. Solve these. X equals 6.4. Add 4, I don't know this one. What is negative 2.4 plus 4? 1.6. And you just completed the square with a constant. I don't know if you like it. If you like it, that's just another way to solve these.